All right, greetings, 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 greetings. Hopefully, you're within the sound of my voice. It's Professor Griff. And of course, if you're tuned in, you're tuned in right here to Writers Row. We're going to give you a few minutes to kind of adjust whatever it is that you have to adjust mindset, spirit, heart, soul, whatever it is that you got to do before we dive into this beautiful thing that we call lyrical, not only lyrical, but literary consciousness. Something I decided to do simply because um I think I kept running into especially on different platforms, TikTok and other places where people were having these discussions, and I was begging for someone to give resources of their research, so I could continue my studies into what the conversation is about, um, which will cause us to not only not speak from emotions, but a lot of times when we're triggered, I want us to be able to pull from sources that we could say, okay, I do have not only the receipts, but ancient receipts. So I did a broadcast entitled AI, which is ancestral intelligence. Um, if you was to go and look at some of those comments up under that particular broadcast, you'd say, wow, they really, 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 truly don't get it. um, and I've said it again today on my broadcast that they're pulling um, energy harvesting, they're pulling the energy from who we are. If you did the research on how they're setting up this AI thing, it's critical. So what I decided to do was honor. I decided to honor, and bring in front of you writers. All right, that can actually kind of give us an idea of who these individuals are in their literary work. All right, greetings, greetings, peace, Queen.
Peace, peace,
How are
greeting.
you? How are you?
I'm thankful. I'm always thankful.
That's beautiful. I'm digging your aunt.
Yes, give thanks, give
All
thanks.
right. So as we wait on the brother to come in, let's just start with you. Just kind of like introduce yourself, tell the people who you are in short, and tell us what your book is and what is it about. All right, and then we'll just kind of dive into it, and we'll move forward from there.
Okay, so I am Rakit Kajara Nebthe. I'm the founder of the Raseki Arts Temple. I am a healer priestess, an educator, an author, uh, a light worker and dragon slayer. I'm an earth keeper. Everybody loves the dragon slayer, but
Right.
gotta have the dragon slayers,
Right. Right. Right.
I'm a mother and a grandmother, and I'm a modern day freedom fighter. I help my people to free themselves mentally, free from racism and trauma and pain and things of that nature. So,
Okay,
yes,
that's a beautiful thing. So the origin of your story as an author. I know you mentioned all the other things. Let's
yes,
zero in and focus in on that.
as
What
an
is your
author.
origin? What first inspired you to become a writer and on this journey of being an author?
So I actually was inspired by another beautiful sister, Annie Harper, who wanted to do a book about Black women who are vegan. And she put a call out for women to submit stories. And I submitted a story about my grandmother. The book is Sister
Mm.
with an AH vegan. Um, and it became very popular. It might have been a bestseller for a while, I'm not sure, but it was, a really beautiful, beautiful story. And after that, I was like, well, somebody liked my story, and
Mhm.
um, it just led me to want to write other books. So I did actually. I actually have 12 books,
Wow.
And yeah, I've been writing since 2012. I published my
Mhm.
first book in 2012. I had been doing the classes that I teach, and I was walking around with, back in the days we had to make copies and staple all the copies
Right.
together when you had a class,
Right. I
So
remember
the
them
day
days.
before the class, you got like 25 papers spread out, you sitting there.
Right.
So, once they made it easy for us to publish books, I just decided it would be much easier. And I put all my papers together, made the first book, Committed Reiki Level 1. And yeah, I've been writing books pretty much since then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what is your routine or your ritual as far as writing is concerned? What does that consist of? What is it? What does that look like?
So usually I create the outline. And once I have my outline, then I just have to fill in the parts. And I'm not going to say I fill them in, perfectly in a row. Sometimes I skip around, depending on the story or the book. But I also do commit to myself to
Mm,
write at least for an hour a day.
okay.
So I will set a particular time depending on, what I'm doing at the time. Um, and, every day at that time, just like a work schedule, I'm going to sit down 3 p.m. Everybody's doing what they got to do. I don't have to worry about that. I turn the phone off and I'll just sit there and go really as long as I can. But I try to go at
Okay.
least for an hour, and I'll do
All
that
right.
until it's done.
Right. So when you say sit there, where is that sit there place at? Is it a sacred place? Is it a quiet space? Is it what's going on? You lighting incense? What are we doing? What is that ritual?
Oh, that's a good question. It is best. And to be honest with you, maybe when I get started, like if it's a new thing that I'm starting, I definitely will think about the environment. I usually end up right in my room because that's my sacred space, and I have a little, office area set up, where I'm comfortable. And excuse me, because my books are mostly spiritual, I do like to have the incense and different things. I may meditate. Most of the time, I do meditate before I even start writing. So it's definitely, like that. But once I get flowing and the book is really like, if once I get into it, it's like I can't wait to sit down and let me get this out. So
Right.
I don't
So
necessarily have to. Mhm.
what are some of the challenges?
The challenges I've had, really just in finding that time and space. I really was able to write most of my books when I was living in an area that I didn't have a lot of distractions. Wasn't a lot going on. My children were in school, so I had plenty of time. So the distractions of things to do, people to see, places to go, that usually is a big challenge.
Okay.
Also, sometimes I would say just getting the help to edit the books um, has also been a little bit of a challenge. So I've
No.
not had the same editor more than twice, I would say. And I find it best to have someone else to take a look, before putting it out.
Right.
Um, yeah.
So you don't have a problem or an issue or necessarily a struggle with getting it written. It's after the fact, the proofreading and the editing. Then
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
All right. People
Yeah.
and younger writers and authors that are coming up, they need to hear that from
Mm,
accomplished writers. You understand what I'm
mm,
saying? I thought I
yes.
had my other guest on, but I guess he went to go get a glass of water or something, or maybe a vegan donut. I don't know. So, maybe I don't know. So with these challenges, does it slow your pace? Are you still on point? Because I think at that point, at the editing and proofreading stage of it, it's almost done. I mean, one of my
Yeah.
processes early on was as I finish each chapter, get it proofread, get it next
Mm,
chapter, and then so by the time I'm with all of the chapters, everything is already proofread. Then I
yes.
can kind of compile it, and then the editing process start. Then I can back away from it and breathe.
Okay, yes. I love that. That is a really good idea. Yeah, thank
Right,
you.
right, right.
Hmm.
So if you're just tuning in, this is Stuff with Griff, and we're right here on Writers Row every Monday night at 9 o'clock, right here on Sirius Mindz RN TV. And what we do on this particular show for an hour is just highlight those that have, that are accomplished authors, writers, and that have working up. And sometimes I'm looking for those that are authors, but having success in that other world that we have to exist in and navigate through. And
Right.
in this one, you said early on something about a bestseller. I truly, as a author and a writer, I don't even know what that means. My name been on that blacklist, yeah, since I was a teenager. So bestseller, I don't know what that means. If I reach one or
Mm,
two people in the fourth sentence on the ninth paragraph in the 10th chapter, if it reached one
yes,
person that I could do something for, I'm good. That's my bestseller.
yes,
You
yes,
understand
yes.
what I'm saying?
I do feel you on that. And actually, one of my elders also did tell me um, I have my own bestseller. Like,
Right.
out of the books that I have, one of them is a bestseller. I have, the children's book. One of them is my best-selling children's book. So it is, it's Kujichagulia. We can
Right.
define ourselves, and what's best for us is that.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
So, so talk to the mothers and the fathers, talk to the parents, talk to the Jegnas about the benefits of having your children's book.
So I do have three children's books. The best-selling one out of the three is The Light as a Feather,
Mm,
42 Laws of My Aunt for Children. And that one is the bestseller because it does teach good character, morals, and integrity to children, and good behavior. And, in this day and time, I would even say
break it up.
all through time, parents need some assistance with discipline, setting standards, setting rules, setting boundaries, things like that, which are really crucial for having balanced children and that will grow into balanced adults.
Mm,
So, The Light as a Feather book and The Laws of My Aunt are both very, very helpful in having those conversations about certain topics. For example, I translated the laws into a language for the children. So one of the laws in that book says, I will not cry without reason.
mm.
And that is one that stands out because oftentimes when parents see that, they like to show it to the children and, have them repeat it. So,
Right.
it's helpful in teaching certain lessons and also for discipline. So, when my children were younger, I would have them to read the laws of my aunt to help them if they got out of line. Go up there, read those laws, and get yourself, into balance.
Right.
So
Right.
it works, very much like that as well. And again, who these children, we have to make sure that we are guiding them in a righteous way, and in my eye, with that truth and order, all of those types of things. So that
And
is what that book is all about.
okay, what kind of feedback are you getting directly from the parents who actually utilize it, as far as you know, taking some of those principles and making them applicable to their children's lives? We know about the one about the crying.
Yes, yes.
It should have been one in there. How children hate to go to bed to sleep at night.
Right, right.
Right. So, what is your direct feedback? What are you getting back from the parent?
I always get great feedback about that book. The parents really, really like they reading it every night. Some of them, and it's an easy reader. So, for children who are just learning to read, they can practice, you know what I mean, with that book. And they tell me that that's what they're doing. Like they're really
Right.
wanting to, utilize the book in a lot of ways to really get those lessons because it takes that repetition for our
Right.
children to learn, especially when they're younger, little ones, when we're giving them these types of lessons, it's going to stick, so it will carry through the years.
Okay. Really appreciate that. You're just tuning in. This is Professor Griffin. We're right here on Writers Road. There with literary consciousness. There's a degree of consciousness that I think is missing. When I was coming up, we always quoted the elders. You understand? We always quoted the ancestors. We always quoted those that came before us. My next guest, my good brother, someone said when they first saw the thumbnail that I put out, they said he looks familiar. Looked like a brother that I met back in the day that had an afro that used to come down the Soul Train line. I said, nah.
Oh wow!
I'm like, nah, that's not him. So tell people who you are and tell them the title of your book and just what's your book about.
Yeah, my name is Brock Khaleim, contemporary griot. I do more than just the books. The books is just a product of me helping to enlighten other individuals about what's going on in the world around us. Tri-State Griot's Curse is more so about a coming of age story, enlightenment, how he interacts with his elders, how he interacts with the environment around him that makes him become who he is and how he's going to move and learning different aspects and ways of life to go ahead and use them as tools to get those things accomplished that he needs to accomplish in his life.
Okay,
Also,
so who are you? Let's start there. Who are you? You said you
directly,
do
who
more
am
than
I?
just the book. Yeah,
Right, right.
you threw me the pass behind the back. I'm just looking for a regular pass.
Okay. Nah.
I want to know
Who am I directly? Like I said, I'm Brock Khaleim. I'm a contemporary griot. It's West African for actually storyteller, musician, poet, news broadcaster.
Okay.
More so like a watchdog for the people, And I mean, when I say watchdog for the people, I mean really for the people.
Right.
What else did I do? I also run a nonprofit organization called Creative Minds Incorporated. It's been running for since 2002, or excuse me, 2001, where we use STEAM, STREAM programs and anti-gang intervention for our community. Basically teaching self-pride awareness, mentally, physically, emotionally, socially, spiritually, and economically, really. So,
right.
Yeah,
So I'm not sure if you were listening. My sister over here, when I asked her what was her origin story in reference to what inspired her to become a writer. So let me ask you, what inspired you to become a writer, an author?
Well, I've always been a lover of poetry. I really, it was just something about sometimes just sitting down, just listening to the elders talk, or as they used to say, rap back in the day. And it was just that rhythmic, I'm telling you this story, you better pick up what I'm putting down right now and you better catch it. You know what I mean? So I first fell in love with the spoken word, and then I got into writing the poetry down. And then after I got into writing the poetry down, what happened was I was living out in California, and everybody's like, "Hey, man, you already wrote a couple of poetry books. Have you ever tried writing a novel?" And I was like, challenge. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna try this, and that's when I got into writing the novels. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. What is your routine or your ritual? What is that process like, real quick?
When you say routine or ritual, please break that down because there's a lot of routines and rituals that we do
For
daily.
example, when we're talking about writing only. When I talk about
Right.
hoops, we ain't talking about swimming, just writing. When I I am going to write this book, that
Uh-huh.
subject, yada yada yada. You understand what I'm saying?
All right. So
I have a routine. I have
right,
rituals. I have
right,
a thought pattern. I have
right.
research, methodology. That's what I mean. What is yours?
Honestly, mine is just to go with the flow. Whatever spirit says to
Mm,
do, I do it. Uh, I if you want to call it a ritual, I will put on some music. Depending on the type of music that I do put on, it will um, dictate how I either do my penmanship and writing or typing or whatever the cadence of what I'm trying to put down or whatever is coming from me. Because really, I'm nothing but a tool or a vessel when I'm listening
mm,
to what's going on to get it
right.
out. And sometimes when I'm writing, I don't I don't even I don't even realize that I wrote it. It's just like it's like it's like yeah, literally like I'm the puppet. You know what I mean? And whatever spirit is guiding, whether it's coming from the ancestors, whether it's coming directly from the creators, whether it's coming from the essence of God and nature that's around me, if I'm sitting around like a tree or
Right.
I'm by the river or wherever else I'm at and I'm writing, like whatever is guiding me at that time, a lot of times I'm just that. I'm
Right.
just a tool. And that's a
Okay.
sacred space right there. So that would be my
Okay. So,
ritual to be
sister,
that sacred
what do you
space.
think about that process? You had that experience before?
Oh
Oh
yeah, I have it all
yes,
the time. Oh,
absolutely. I agree with him fully about the writing process. Really, when you are flowing, it is a
Hmm.
spiritual thing. It's it's creation. You tap into that
Right.
creative side. That is the power of the Most High, the Creator.
hmm
And so I've
Mm.
I've written passages that other people have quoted, and I have to say, did I really write
right though,
that?
right though,
And
right.
Walabu Baruti, he put out a passage for one of my books.
Mm.
And I was
Right.
like, wow, okay, give thanks. And the book, I remember, it's true. Like I had hurt my ankle. I was down in the bed. Somebody said, this is a good time to write. And the next day, it's like the spirit was
Right.
like, get that computer. And that
Right.
book came out
Right.
so
Everything going.
fast and easy. So yeah, I can relate for
so let
sure.
me so let me ask both of y'all, what what's unique about your writing style? Like,
Sis.
do you have a style? What both anyone of you can start off, but what's unique about your writing style? Like mine, I don't write for adults. That's just my thing. I
Okay.
just kind of don't. I gear mine towards the 13, 14, and 15-year-old. Because I know if I could get them, the adults will understand it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Um, I don't, like I told you, sis, I don't have a bestseller. Brock got 9 bestsellers, I think. I'm not sure.
Oh,
But anyway,
Give
okay.
thanks.
no,
Give
I'm not
thanks.
sure about
Give
that.
thanks.
I'm just
Give
Yeah.
joking.
Okay.
thanks.
But
Okay.
Right. No, I'm
I don't.
accepted
What
though.
is your writing style? What is your style?
I focus on health and wellness, so healing mind, body, and spirit. My books are about energy healing. I have a prayer book, a recipe book. So, I really use them as supplements for my classes and also just, to
Mm,
help other people understand about different ways of living. Our people are suffering from lack of knowledge. We all know that
Big
hmm
as
facts.
authors, and that's
Right.
part of why we do
Big
what we
facts.
do. And but
Right.
the lack of knowledge on health and our how
Right.
easy it is to stay healthy. Simple things we could
Right.
do to stay balanced and whatnot. So I focus on those things primarily.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
Okay.
I'm gonna piggyback on what Sis says. for
veggie
me,
back. We don't eat pork over here, man. Veggie
That's
back.
right.
We gonna
veggie back. Okay, we're gonna veggie back over here. Excuse my vernacular for a second. I apologize. Okay, right. Listen, no swine over here. Listen, I don't eat pork either. I just
Okay, so you know.
right though. I would agree with this is on all those aspects. I write everything from manuals because I have to create programs for the youth. So I have many different hats when I'm writing. So I agree. And I try to touch bases on in all my books, whether it's just for edutainment or educational entertainment, just play on words, or whether it's for studying and researching. I also dive into talking about ancestry, ancestral living, historical values, cultural values, multiple different. I mean, a lot of different methodologies and ways in life, because it takes the all to make the one. And a lot of people don't talk about that. So I don't care if I got to talk about kinetic science, I'm going to talk about kinetic science. If I got to talk about numerology, I'm going to talk about numerology. If I got to go ahead and write something about numerology, and and nobody talks about it. So no matter what your methodology or way of life, you have some type of numerology in it. So when you're talking about healing, you're talking about energy work. So you're talking about color psychology or something like that. Even in Islam, they have this thing called Quranic psychology. And in Quranic psychology, they talk about the opposite of one from the other. So the opposite of hate is love. And if you fully practice any methodology or way of life, you will see that they actually are all the same, but just a cultural difference to speak on the same subject. So yeah, that's my writing style, is to go ahead and create awareness on all that as well, and help people, let's take the veils off of our eyes and stop the isms and schisms and he shades and the she shades.
Yes.
Right. What in your body of work, whichever work it is, whichever book it is, what is that one thing that you want them to walk away with? We're not just taking a bunch of things and throwing it against the wall to hope they stick. What is that thing that you hope they walk away with? And both of y'all can answer that.
Would you like to go, Sus?
Sure. I would say that our health and our wellness is directly related to our culture. And so I do my best to include cultural awareness in all of my writings. So our traditions, our lifestyle, even, as you said, teaching that to the children when they're young is really important right now. So that to me is a big thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Cool. I would say my biggest, what I want people to take from anything that I write, and I mean that comes from whether I'm doing the classes or whether I'm doing the poetry or whether I'm doing the novels or the short stories, is no matter what group you're in, see yourself. Just be. Because a lot of people are trying to be somebody else that they didn't see. Now, it's nothing wrong with emulating somebody to find yourself. It's nothing wrong with that, because you need that to know who you are directly. Okay.
Right.
So, but my biggest takeaway that I want anybody ever to get from any piece of the works that I put out there is to know yourself. Be yourself and just be. Right. That's it.
And by the time they get to the end of your one of your books, either one of y'all, is there a call to action? Is there a you got my book? Yeah, I bought your book last month for my daughter. Blah 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 blah. So yeah, she read it. So what did she do after she read your children's book and she got the laws of Ma'at? What did she do? Or read one of your works, Brock, and what is that call of action? What are you calling them to do? I'm talking about the parents now, not necessarily the children, but you're calling the parents to do what? Because what we're trying to do is raise the vibratory pitch of our literary consciousness to the point where we're reading again. I'm running into this issue where I'm having conversations, but because I'm having the conversation and I'm referring back to different authors, different books, different bodies of work, and I'm looking at the body language and the expression of the people that I'm talking to, and I know they don't have a clue as to what I'm talking about. You understand what I'm saying? So what we tried to do, this is me now. You're talking to a 65-year-old man coming up, trying to educate people to say, listen, this is not just coming from Griff. You understand what I'm saying? You might see this. Oh man, that's Griff. Where you get that hoodie from? And I can say, yeah, I got it from yada, 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 and then break this down. But check this out. You could go further and deeper into your studies by going to check out Ashra Kwesi. You understand what I'm saying? Anthony Browder, Dr. Ben. I could go on and on and on. But now I'm finding that a lot of people just don't do that in their conversation. They're speaking from emotion, and I want to be fed. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So talk to me. Talk to me about your experience with that.
I will say that I've seen a change in the people and their reading habits and, overall attention span. And so, I think, it's part of it. When they started taking books out of the schools, it really did affect the children's connection with reading actual books, right? So they begin to read books online and stuff like that. And then, of course, with the bookstores closing, Amazon shut down hundreds of bookstores over the years. And so that effect, whereas we used to have a bookstore that we passed by after school, we would pass by the bookstore and those bookstores are not there. So those conversations that were once had are not being had because the presence, is not there like it was in the past. So, I think, those types of things are really affecting our children. And then, of course, the social media. They want to just read, a little post, and that's what they consider reading. You know what I mean? Or if they watch a YouTube video, they feel like they got a little education. And, that's very different from actually reading a book and then taking the time to contemplate what you've taken in. And, those types of things are being missed. So it's a process that we're going to have to turn around in some form of fashion, because we can't just let the books go. Like that, if we do, that'll be our fault. That would be our fault.
Definitely will.
So we can't. We just have to.
Right.
I'm gonna just be very transparent right now. I'm gonna say it like this: I didn't know how to read until I was 13. My mother, she was basically illiterate. She did the best that she could with me, and if it wasn't for my cousin, who I call my uncle cousin, how like in Black family we got that uncle cousin, like he way older than you or she way older than you, and what I mean. So they snatched me up and they took me down to South Carolina, and it's like, nah, we ain't having this. And I want to first say it first starts with our immediate family. Somebody in our immediate family needs to pull us to the side when they see that our youngins is not getting something or grabbing it, for the reading aspect of it, or for the mathematical aspect of it as well, or any science aspect of it, because it first comes with our family. that can push us and drive us into the school to go ahead and take it further. I'm saying that to say reading and the skills that is necessary to uplift us has to first get sparked from our family members to keep us elevating to our highest potential. We need to talk to our parents who are separated from each other but have children together, because that affects their mental as well. And I'm kind of going off the subject, but I'm trying to bring it back. But for some reason, it keeps pulling me to say it this way, because one parent has something that that child needs or the children need, and the other parent has something that the other children needs to keep them motivated to elevate and rise all the way up.
Right.
So we got to figure out a way to keep that balance going.
Right.
I didn't have it. Pops wasn't there, and it was kind of crazy with him, the way our situation was. And moms couldn't do it. It took my cousin. So my thing is, let us focus first, foremost, and this is what my books focus on, and this is what my classes focus on. Let's focus on who needs the help, give them the help to help them uplift, raise up, and rise up. And I honestly lost what the initial question was, because
no. It's all right. Sometimes that's what writers do. You understand? We go.
Right.
You said it. You said you go with the flow, so we're going with the flow. So listen, what I'm going to do right now, I'm not putting anyone on the spot, but I'm going to need 10 books from each one of y'all that you have read that you would advise other people to read. I'm going to read something. You guys get busy jotting those things down, unless you already have them on cap. That's a beautiful thing too. But what you just explained to us was the balance of ma'at. Truth, balance, justice, reciprocity, and order is what you explain. See, these things come natural for a writer, for poets, for those of us, you understand what I'm saying, that used to use the therapeutic thing called the pen and paper. We don't even do that no more.
Right.
And I'm a victim
pen to
of
the
that.
pad to the heart. Right.
But it's therapeutic to pull up a pen and write it down. You can erase it, think about it. You understand what I'm saying? Scratch it out. It's a beautiful thing when you go through that process. So you'll get your book list together. I'm going to read something real quick. If you just joining us, this is Writer's Row. This is Professor Griff right here on Writer's Row. And Writer's Row simply is where the pen meets the people and consciousness sparks the conversation. It's a space where literature becomes a revolution and dialogue becomes the transformation. We all know that revolution basically simply means to re-evolve. All right. Each author that comes to the forefront that we highlight have a different process, a different routine, different rituals, different things that they offer in their literary work. What this platform is designed to do is take a deep dive into the author's work, into the mind, into the spirit, into the methodology, so we can give birth to other writers and other authors. On Writer's Row, words aren't written, they are lived, they're spoken, and we intend to weaponize these words, this literary consciousness, and this literary work, so we can do the thing that Brock told us to do, is that spark. We need that spark. We need something that's going to set it off. You understand what I'm saying? I thought at one time hip-hop did that because cats was thinking, they was writing, we was spitting, yada, yada, yada. Something happened there between the analog and the digital, where cats stopped writing. And I'm going to be honest with you. I was there in the studio with Biggie one time, and the things that I saw him do, I'm like, damn, it took me 2 damn months to write this one little verse, man. Biggie, no pen, no pad, just like, right off the dome. I'm like,
and that's when the ancestors speaking, though. A lot of times, like for real, like when that freestyle come out or that improv come out, I have to try to jump in for when that improv come out. Listen, there's something that's talking to that individual, and that individual don't even know what they really saying for real.
Right. So, that was my next question as we dive into your book list. Do the information get poured in you, or is it there and we pull it out of you?
A little both.
It is both. It is both. Yes, because if we are cups, we're we're already a vessel with something, and then we're open to receive more. To fill our cup so that we have more to share.
And then when our cup fills up, we have something to pour out into somebody else's cup for what they need. So it's fair exchange and no robbery always.
Right. All right, who want to give their book list first? Talk to me.
Okay, I'm gonna go just right off the dome, as you say.
Okay, what happened?
I'm gonna start off for the women. Is gonna be Sacred Woman by Queen Afua. It's a Bible for Black women, and I think it's just at the top of the list. It's a life changer. And then there is a man version. I think it's Man Heal Thyself. So I don't want to leave the brothers out because our men's need healing as well.
Definitely.
Yes. Definitely. And then the next two on my list are going to be by Aya Kwame Arwe. It's The Healers and 2000 Seasons, which also are life changers, especially for, spiritual, historical, just helping us to get attuned to who we are and where we come from. Especially for myself as a healer, the healer stands out. But the 2000 Seasons and really all of his books, I just can't put them all on the list. And then that's going to lead me, of course, to I'm gonna have to put, Dr. Ben, Dr. Clark, all, I can't just pick one. Naeem Akbar, he has really, really, he was one of my teachers who just the way that he breaks it down, you know what I mean? It just means so much. So I got authors, I would say, more than actual books, but I think his book might have been a Know Thyself book as well, something like that. Infadishi Jehudimas wrote that Spiritual Warriors Are Healers. I love that one. I can't remember, but one of the books of Malcolm X speeches definitely was a life changer. Just reading his actual speeches, it just really stuck to me because I read it in the 90s and he was speaking in the 60s. So 30 years later, everything that he said was still applying. I was like, we ain't had no change yet, Baba. So, him, then that's going to take me to Marcus Garvey. Any of the Marcus Garvey books, the poetry of Marcus. That's one of my favorites, actually, his poetry. I'm sure you probably have stepped into that as well.
Hey, listen.
Yes, for sure. And I think I probably that's 10. That's about 30.
I'm sitting here trying to take mental notes. Like I gotta go back.
I can't leave out my mama's, the ISIS papers.
Oh,
and Yorugu, also at the top of the list. Now I am complete.
I thought you was going to hit us with the 15 emerald tablets for a second. Ooh. All right. Let's see here. You had more authors. I just have more books that spoke to me. Some of the authors I don't fully remember, but if we're doing this like this, I would say with the author that I do know in their book, it would be Intro to Quranic Psychiatry by Sheikh Mubarak El-Shor Jilani. That one was when I was going through something real serious. That one changed a lot. Another one would be Olodumare, God in Yoruba belief. Um, Bola Joni. I do not want to mess up the elder's name. Um, for physical workouts and stuff like that, I'm a practitioner in judo and jiu-jitsu, the Brazilian and the Japanese. So I would say go get that Kodokan judo book, the Essential Guide by the founder. I would say go get that one. Has a lot of good workouts, breathing techniques, and how to feel people. So it does have energy work in it. For the brothers, I would strongly suggest this lady. She is melanin deficient, but she is on point with a lot of different things to understand a little bit more about dealing with the feminine way of life. And that would be The Manipulated Man by Esther. I can't really remember her last name. But it shows the beauty, the strength, the wisdom, and the power of the feminine energy. And once you realize it, you got to respect it. You know, you really got to respect it. It'll make you respect some things for real, for real. The mucusless diet healing, or the mucusless diet healing system. It was a professor by the name of Arnold. Now, he was talking about a lot of stuff that Sadie was talking about before Sadie was talking about it. And I mean, this Caucasian man went from pale skin to looking like he was copper skin by the time he was done. Okay. So it like activated his melanin in his skin. So I would say, yeah, that's a book. That's a book. Another one would be by Grandmaster Willie Adams. Grandmaster Willie Adams, Ishinru. It's an Ishinru karate textbook, but he has a lot of strong, valuable points. And in Ishinru, the Okinawa style, there's a very few brothers that was able to reach 10th Dan, and he was able to do it. And that's like a workout, meditation, get your mind right type book. And it deals with masculine and feminine energy, because anybody that knows anything about Ishinru, Ishinru's goddess or emblem is of a goddess with one hand. I'm trying to do it right. One hand like this and one hand like that. No. One hand closed, one hand down, which means the hard and the soft way, putting it together. And it's a water goddess, Japanese water goddess. So that's
I think that may be 29, but yeah, we got you.
Okay. I thought it was on 7. All right, we good.
The work that you foresee yourself doing, or presently in the middle of, what is that work? I find myself having an idea, started, something else comes along, I shelf it, I circle back around to it. There's like 4 books sitting in some folders on my desktop that I know I'm going to get, The Way of the Nagas. You understand what I'm saying? I've been wanting to put that down, like, you understand what I'm saying? But I am trying to find a way to deliver it to that average 14-year-old. You understand? I'm not one of the authors that want to talk way up here, book that thick, and no one reads it.
Yeah, right.
Can't do it. No, mine has to be a field manual.
Yes.
It has to be the one you pull out your backpack, like, yo, check this out.
It's right here. Okay.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So what is that work that you want to do, or you're in the middle of, or you see yourself putting out, I don't know, next few months, next year? What is that work?
I do have a children's book that I wrote, and that is sometimes a challenge, is finding that illustrator for the children's book. So I'm waiting for that. I do also have another project that the idea was given to me a few years ago, and I put it on the shelf. Um, and with the recent passing of Baba Heru, I feel like I want to, bring that to life, telling a story of some of the comedic leaders in
Okay.
today's time.
Now, you talking about a documentary
I'm
or
talking
just the
about,
book?
huh?
A documentary or just the book?
Well, a documentary would be lovely,
I
but
mean,
I would
we
say
might need to talk then, because
yes,
I got
it
a little
would.
skills in that. So,
It would. It's needed,
all right,
um, I would say to set the record straight a little bit,
facts.
and
Because a
yeah.
lot of hidden information, and you don't want it to die or unalive off. I don't know, certain pages you can't say dies.
Because of foolishness and such. Yes, we
Right.
don't. Yeah. So those are two.
For me, I'm in the process. I'm attempting to use all of my books that were given to me to do to try to obtain a retreat, remote center for our community to be able to come to no matter what the season is, to heal mentally, physically, emotionally, socially, spiritually, or economically, as well as to use my nonprofit organization to go into every last community that needs it, um, whether they need it for herbology, aromatherapy, um, whatever they might need it for. So
Okay.
my whole thing is trying to generate enough sales right about now to obtain a particular property that I actually have in my sights right now,
Okay.
to do that. And also with that retreat center will allow everybody, no matter what their methodology or way of life is, to descend on that property and be able to take it back to their communities and use the 501c3 status of Creative Minds to give them a foothold to say, yeah, we are still legit and we still are grassroots. So that's where I'm at with it. I've accomplished everything else that I kind of wanted to accomplish for real, for real. That's kind of my last, I got to
Right.
get that.
No, I
And it's
Yeah.
got
not just for me.
right. So one of my last questions before we wrap it up, and then as we're wrapping up, I'm going to need a quote from both of you guys, and I want you to tell the people where they can get your work. But the last question is this: has AI hindered or helped? Has technology hindered or helped? Just that simple.
Technology has helped. I would say um, I might have wanted to write a book, I would say 20 years ago, before Amazon, before it was easier to self publish, and it was extremely costly, and it held a lot of would be authors back.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's been helpful in a lot of ways. And I feel like we just need to have a nice balance between the two. Um, we don't want to use it too much and depend on it too much. It's like Google Maps. Yeah, you want to use it the first time you go, but the next time, just try to remember, or you know what I mean? Don't just always rely on the technology and not use your
Right,
brain.
right,
So
right.
I think that's key. And I just want to say to Brock, I have a similar vision. It's really interesting that we're
Oh,
both on the
we can
show
work it
at this
out. We can
time.
work it out
That's
together.
what I'm
The
doing.
more
I got a retreat
the
center,
more the merrier.
friendly
Because listen,
community. I got a whole plan, so we got to connect, my brother, because it seems
definitely.
like
Come on,
we were
let's
put
go.
on this show together for
Listen,
a reason.
listen.
Right.
We can make it work. Trust me, we can
Now,
definitely make
Brock.
it work. Yes.
You and I talked for weeks about doing this, but I just saw Sister yesterday. I think was
Yep,
it yesterday?
yep, over the
No,
weekend. It
no, it
was
was Saturday.
Saturday at the Veggie Takes, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And my wife bought the book, and I had the book in my hand. I said, "What am I thinking about, man?" I said, "I could have just asked this sister to be on the show." I don't know what I was thinking. I'm trying to get my veggie taste on, man.
Right.
When that hangry hits, you got to get what you got to get. That's all it was. You know, you needed food for the mind. So yeah.
So has AI and technology helped or hindered?
I would agree with sis. It's a little bit of both. The discipline and using it is necessary, and it's necessary to use it to enhance our children so they don't fall behind. Period.
Right.
Our elders messed up in a way, but they messed up in a way to make us realize where we shouldn't mess up at. That means don't be afraid of change, but keep the discipline in using what is coming about in the change. Period. Mm-hmm. So it's good. It works fine. Just don't abuse it. Don't abuse it.
Right. All right. So give me a quote, and then let the people know where they can buy your work, get your work, support you. Give them your information. I need a quote, though. I need something.
A quote. Now that is not my strong suit, so I'm gonna go with.
Hold on. So while they're thinking about that, just keep in mind, family, this is Writers Row. You know someone that's a writer. You know someone that has a book, maybe a small pamphlet or whatever. We want to highlight those individuals here and give them a voice, give them a safe space, give them a place where they can kind of sit comfortable and have this conversation and speak to the world. So I need a quote. There's about 5-6 different quotes that used to live in the back of my brain. So whatever I was doing, wherever I was at, wherever people asked me to come speak or just say a few words, Professor Griff, blah, 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 blah. You understand what I'm saying? I have some go-to quotes. You understand what I'm saying?
And I always admired those ones who were able to rattle off the quotes.
Now, you know why? Because they fit me. They fit me like they're mine. But some people thought they were mine. And I said, no, that's not me. Revolution is not an event. It's a process. I say it so much, people think it's my quote, but it's not my quote.
Well, it's a part of you. It became a part of your armor. So it is you.
Exactly.
I mean, real quick, it's like the Yorubas have this one saying and one thing. The reason why is they keep the same prayer over and over and over again is because those who have said it before them are saying it with them while they're doing it now. And that's just a fact.
Yeah, I think, Brock, I think you spoke for both of y'all on that one.
So I did think of one of my favorite lines from the Black poets, which I do like to quote, which is, put more meaning into everything you do, more meaning into loving, living, and eat and breathing, and there will be more meaning in you.
Oh, okay. All right. Let the people know where they can get your work. Give them your information. All right.
Yes. So you can check me at rasekihealing.com. We have classes, retreats, and other products for healing your mind, body, and spirit. Learn Kemetic Reiki. Learn how to heal your energy. Also visit us at Raseki Arts Temple on IG, TikTok, YouTube, all the social media. Just look up Raseki Arts Temple. We also have our books listed at rasekistore.com and on Amazon as well. Definitely appreciate you, Professor Griff, for reaching out to be here. I truly was like, woo, I'm going on the show. you don't really know, but I've been a fan of yours for many years from, when I was younger. Yeah, for sure. So every time I see you, the fangirl inside of me goes, ooh, because I was there back in the days of the old PE days. I was right there with you, fighting power and all that. So, I truly appreciate this.
Give thanks. I'm gonna tell you, since I tried to set it off for real.
Yes.
Anyway. All right, Brock, talk to us, man. Where can they reach out to you? Where can they get in touch with you? Where can they get your work?
Powerful Rejuvenation. You can find me on IG. It's like one of my pages. You can find me on Facebook, Brock Khaleim, Contemporary Griot. You can find me on TikTok, Brock Khaleim. Let's see. That's basically Shoes Are Impalpable on Facebook. That's another one of my pages. Or you can pick up my books on Amazon. You can pick up my books on Amazon. Brock Khaleim. Right. I'm simple,
Oh, okay. Once again, family, this is Professor Griff, and this has been Writers Row. And we just simply say this is where literary consciousness meets the conversation in a safe space, in a palatable way that all of us can get. If we're talking up here and you here, just get on the elevator and take the ride with us. You understand what I'm saying? So we can raise the vibration pitch of our thinking into the mind of the creator.
And Elder Griff, I appreciate you for allowing me to be up on here too.
Give thanks. Really appreciate you guys.
I forgot to say that, but I got to give homage where homage needs. So I really
give thanks. Really appreciate it. All right. Safe travels on your journey to stardom, to goddess and godhood. I love y'all to life. Thank y'all very much. Really appreciate you.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. All right. Peace. All right. Once again, this is Professor Griff, and this is Writers Row. Thank you very much for joining me, family. I really appreciate that. Join me not next week, the week after. And we're going to present to you and bring to the forefront and highlight two dynamic authors that's coming before us. And it's a beautiful thing that we're able to kind of continue to take this idea of literary consciousness and move it forward. A lot of us claiming to have this degree of consciousness, but we become YouTubians, someone said. I said, I'm not really sure about that word, but we're just taking bits and pieces, or like Twitiots. We're going on Twitter, we're borrowing something, on YouTube, borrowing something, and Face Crook, we're borrowing something and we're putting it together. And it's just no, we have to sit down and we have to actually read. All right. We have to conversate with people. We have to debate. We have to dialogue in a loving way. All right. So we can get a deeper understanding of some of these things. So when we do enter into the conversations, we'll have a firm foundation. All right. This is your brother, Professor Griff, and I salute you. Thank you very much for joining me and sitting with me right here on Writers Row. All right. Raising the vibrational pitch of your thinking into the mind of the creator. One book, one word, one paragraph, one sentence at a time. It's your brother, Professor Griff. Love you to life. Peace. Peace. Peace.